So I was just speaking about traditional structures, and it's almost like Thomas is listening to me say that, and he's like, hold my wine, because then all of a sudden we go into, I guess, a second bridge. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me for another reaction video. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications, and you're good to go. We are back with another Nightwish Saturday, and we move on to the track called How's the Heart. It is the next track on our Human Nature playthrough. I'm super excited to react to this one. You guys have been hyping it up for a long time. Last couple weekends, that's all I've heard about, so super amped. Can't wait to get stuck into it. I know there are two versions of the song. There is the lyric video, and then there is an acoustic version, which makes me really happy. You don't have to choose though, because I'm going to do both. I'm going to do them back to back. First, I'll do the lyric video. Straight after that, we'll jump into the acoustic. I'm going to save my thoughts on the song for the very end where we can talk about it, but really excited. I'm going to set both up and I'll be back in a second. Right, I've got the first video ready. I can't wait to get stuck into this one. Nightwish, How's the Heart, official lyric video. Let's see what you got. Okay, hang on a second. Obviously it's called How's the Heart, right? Starts out with that heartbeat, nice and slow, and soft and building, builds the song. You could hear that kind of reverse cymbal crash come in. And then as the instrumentation kicks in with Troy doing the damn thing, sounds like those pipes again. Does sound like it was coupled with a synth, but I'm not sure. I'll have to listen again. I didn't pick it all up. But what was interesting is the drums. You heard that heartbeat, and when the drums came in, it sounded like there was a double kick throughout that piece that was almost echoing the sentiments of that heartbeat. Now, I may be latching onto that because of the title and kind of positioning that in my own mind, but I definitely felt like it took over from the heartbeat, that the double kick was something that was a continuation. Let me know if I'm going crazy or if you heard that as well, but very cool start, very Celtic vibe to that as well. Okay, I don't think I'm going crazy because, first of all, I want to say that that beginning piece has like a playful nature to it, but also has like a serious undertone. It's the way that it kind of drifts between that different progression that it's playing. It's really cool. As it went into that vocal piece there, which I'm assuming is going to be a verse, a lot of the instrumentation was pulled out, and what was left was essentially your drums. There was a synth kind of atmosphere layer there, and then there was the bass, and it sounded like the bass is going for that double hits as well, taking over from the drums. So is it a progression? Is it a continuation that we're going to see throughout the song? You had the heartbeats in the beginning, you had the double kick, and now you're getting the double hits on the bass. If it is genius, and I am a big fan.
We see a mother with no child. We meet a stranger, poor exile. How's the heart while it still beats? Asks to no one, another John Doe. Sorrow hides well in your shell. A fellow man with her to spare. Dear one, here I am to share the fear, an act of kindness without a name and hope.
Hang on a second before we go anywhere else. I did hear some vocal layering starting to creep in there. It sounded like it was. I'm not sure if it was Floor kind of layering herself or if one of the guys were coming in to support and back that up. Really amazing. So reserved, because when you have a band that has so much talent, instrumentation, ability, for them to be able to pull back and be so brave to kind of let the vocals and the story be the piece there was awesome. Floor started out quite reserved. There's a couple little high bits in there that she has to get to. Not an easy verse, but definitely something that can be built upon. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's a 5-minute song. We're only a minute in. It's beautiful. It's really pretty. It's definitely a male vocal that came in there. Oh man, that's the chorus, right? So what a chorus. Okay. I know that they put in a lot of kind of vocal efforts and challenge themselves, vocally on all these choruses, and that was no different. To hear that kind of male vocal, it's the mixing that gets me, because we know they can sing, and I know they can pull it off live, but it's so brilliantly mixed that you can hear all those different layers, but none of them take away. Everything adds to the value and the quality of the song. That was awesome. Beautiful chorus. And I liked what the guitar was doing. I liked what Empu was doing there, because, again, massively talented, but reserved. He played almost a percussion role. So he was going through that progression that he would play on his guitar, but he was hitting it along in sync with a lot of the accents of the kick, the snare, and some of the hi-hat work. And it was consistent. It kept that steady rhythm for everything else to kind of build a melody on. Very smart. Reserved, but very smart. Okay, now I know I'm not crazy, because there they've got this mechanical heart, which is awesome, by the way. And it's rotating and clicking to the rhythm. It's almost beating to that rhythm of the song, and it's matching up with those kicks that I mentioned. So I think we're onto something here, guys. That is sick. I love how those pipes kind of drift in and out of notes without there being a definitive stop and start, like with a lot of other instruments. I like the resonance and that kind of wind in. It makes it seem very, like I said, playful, but you know that some of the notes that he's playing and some of the progression that he's playing actually feels in some way a little sad, melancholic. Like it's unique. You don't hear that instrument a lot. I mean, I certainly don't. And that's been one of the treasures of finding Nightwish, is seeing all these other kinds of instruments that I didn't even know existed being used in such a beautiful way.
We met where the cliff greets the sea. Shared a story, took the lead. Rose uprooted, hid a note. You know where you've been there. Now there's one who came from me, a child of light, another tale.
Ah, that's so cool, man. I spoke earlier about the simplicity of that first verse, how it was reserved and allowed you to focus on the melody. Well, the melody we've got now, it's ingrained in our mind because it's a good one. So when we move on to this piece and you hear that synth strings piece coming in, and it's that kind of, it feels like you're climbing a ladder. It feels like you keep going up, 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 and then it drops again. And it's that build and cycle. It's more erratic. It is very counter to the current, like almost BPM of the song. It feels more urgent. It feels more pacey. But it's adding so much value to this because it's not taking away from her vocal melody. I can still hear all the words with enormous clarity. I can still get the message, and I can feel the song moving in a direction. I say this all the time. I want a song to move in a direction. I don't want to feel like it goes from point A to point B, back to A to C, back to B. I want it to keep moving. No matter what it does, no matter which piece it revisits, I want it to build and move in a direction. That's how you create a user journey. And you do that in marketing, and you do that in music. And this is no exception. It's definitely building. It's going forward, and I love it.
Now there's one who came from me,
it gives me goosebumps every time they go into that How's the Heart because of that male vocal that comes in. Her voice is so powerful and strong. To have it come in underneath is what it feels like. And that's a lot to do with the fact that it's a lower harmony. It's magical.
Night will come, but not to stay. Oh, why? The answer's in the house, the heart. Underneath the silence, house, the world. Drowning in the fire, let us sound. Human being, come in, the fire's warm. Burn the rope and then some more. Fair winds
Hang on a second. I can hear some pipes there as well. That was a really smart bridge, because as great as those melodies were with the verse and the chorus, when a song is good, even if you know how traditional song structure works, you expect certain things: verse, double chorus, bridge, outro. There's variations of that, of course, but when you know how that process works and what's expected, particularly when you look at the length of the song, it's very easy for things to become predictable. However, because this melody is so good, and because the writing is so good, and the placement of the phrasing and the instrumentation is so good, I forgot about structure. And so when that kicked in as a typical bridge, I went, oh yeah, of course. But it was nice that they took me out of that thinking mentality and more into a listening space, because that's important with music. I know when you do these reactions, I'm trying to pick things up and show you guys certain reasons as to why you love these songs so much and why they should be celebrated. But it's good. It's going to be hard to sing. Is that a whistle? Okay. This is funny. So I was just speaking about traditional structures, and it's almost like Thomas is listening to me say that, and he's like, hold my wine, because then all of a sudden we go into, I guess, a second bridge. They do keep you guessing. I like that. And now you can hear that guitar really echoing that heartbeat. You can see it match up with the visual, which I do love. And you can actually hear it take the place of what the bass was doing in the verse. So if you go back to a verse piece, you'll be able to hear that sentiment and how the relationship between the two instruments, albeit that they weren't playing it at the same time. Nice. Very cool. Oh wow, I just realized she's doing a much higher harmony in the back. I didn't even hear that to start with. How are they going to do this live? I mean, I know they will, but this whole album. Okay, so that instantly made me get excited about the acoustic version we're going to do straight after this, because it was stripped back, it was quite raw. It sounded like, I don't know if it was Troy or Marco, I think it was Troy just underneath Floor there, doing a really nice kind of lower, when you sing harmonies, you don't sing the exact same melody and phrasing. Sometimes you sing I call it a little flatter. It's not flat in terms of the notes, but you don't sing all of those frills. You provide like a canvas, right, for it to sing on top of. Really nicely done. I could hear some string section there, so it sounded a bit like a cello, something deeper. Didn't sound like a violin or anything, or viola. It sounded a bit deeper. So it's beautiful, and it's making me very excited.
Let us sound human paean. Come on in. How's that heart underneath the silence? How's that love drowning in the fire? Let us sound human paean. Come on in, the fire's warm. Now the blade and some love.
There, okay, so drums are important in a song like this to create a backbone and melody. It creates confidence in the song. Knowing what the drums are going to do allows your body to understand how to move, how to keep that rhythm, because there is a lot of change in it. And for him to do those little accents there, those little syncopated accents where it's like a snare and a cymbal hit straight after, really nice. Just a small little bit of flair. Again, nothing technical, nothing crazy, just a small bit of flair to let you know, we are capable of this kind of thing. But it's a nice throwback. And also when you're getting into, we're 4 minutes 10, so I'm assuming we're towards the, that double chorus, if you will, or however they're going to end the song. I suspect with a chorus this good, they might double up on it. We'll see. But they proved me wrong earlier. Yeah, just really nice to kind of mix it up and change it and show a little bit of small accents, small things to be different to what came before. And that's, again, that whole point about a song moving in a particular direction. It's great. Silence, how's the warm drowning in the mire? Let us sound human paean. Come in, the fire's warm, burn the rope and dance some more. Who's singing that low harmony underneath there? Wow, I didn't. Okay, wow. Now at the end. They did do the double chorus, but again, I was slightly wrong because she sang it in a different way, and it was fresh. It was nice. She really started belting at the end there. That's going to be very tough to sing live. I think the harmonies, you can hear them, but I don't think I've given them enough credit. There at the end where it stripped back and you could hear the male vocal, you could hear almost how they were drifting apart from each other, like three different voices there marrying up to make something quite special. And that low harmony at the end, I don't know if he was doing that earlier on in the song. I didn't pick that up, but at the end I sure did, and it is magical. That is really deep, a lot of kind of resonance to it, but also clarity. You could still hear the word. It wasn't just a hum. Yeah, that was, oh wow, okay, yeah, I'm fully on board for that. I'm going to save my thoughts because we're going to get into the next one, so let me get that set up and I'll be back in a second. Right, I've got the acoustic version ready and I can't wait to see how they tackle this one. Some bands just do a stripped back version. Other bands actually change the melody a bit and flux it here and there. And I even know of bands to actually change the structure when they do acoustic versions of their songs. So really excited. I'm going to be more enjoying this one, picking up on little bits that I can here and there and anything extra, but I'm super excited. Nightwish, How's the Heart acoustic, Planet Rock acoustic session. Let's see what you got.
Planet Rock. Planet Rock.
You know what, that is stripped back and really pretty. I'm also glad you guys said do this back to back, because having that instrumentation and melody fresh in my mind from the lyric video is going to help with this a lot. That's a beautiful guitar piece, and it's actually a transformation of the work he was doing with the pipes in the lyric video. And it's not uncommon. You see a lot of guitarists, when they do covers of popular songs, they actually play that vocal melody on the guitar. So he's playing that main melody. He's playing a lot of open strings as well. He's picking those to give it a fullness, to give it that rhythm and sense of almost percussion, if you will. Acoustic guitars are great for that. Sounds awesome so far, and it is very stripped back. I guess it's just Troy and Floor. But more importantly, they both have mics.
We see a mother with no child. We meet a stranger, poor exiled. How's the heart while it still beats? Asks and no one, another John Doe. Sorrow hides well in your shell. A fellow man with her to spare. Here I am to share the fear, an act of kindness without a name. And how
Before we go into any of that, and I want to hear them sing together, I want to talk about her voice here. That mic is very sensitive, and it needs to be, because there's a lot of personality and characteristics in her vocals, particularly when she starts out so soft and reserved. There's parts where she starts with even a small whisper and it goes up into that main vocal. There's parts where she goes into a high frill and comes down again. And if the mic wasn't able to pick that up, it would be a shame. She's also a bit of a distance away, which means it's really sensitive. It's picking up a lot of the volume, which means she has to have extra control over her vocals, which we know she does. True professionals.
to spare. Here I am to share the fear, an act of kindness without a name. And how's the heart underneath the silence? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let us sound to human pain. Come in, the fire's warm, burn the rope and add some more.
Okay, wow, that is super pretty. Him doing that harmony is awesome, and there's a couple of reasons for that. It helps me explain what I said earlier in the lyric video. When you do that harmony and she's singing on top of it, you can't sing the same melody. You have to sing it a bit more simple. You have to strip it back a bit. And I want to almost say flat, but I don't mean flat in terms of the tune and the key. I mean a bit simpler, so she can do those frills and create distance on top of it. And he's doing a great job of that. Very delicate, very reserved. It's working. And he's actually panned left in my headphones, which is nice because it leaves the middle open for her vocals and the rest of that acoustic guitar to come through. It's smart mixing. The other reason they pan him left is because he's sitting on the left. So visually it helps. When your brain sees something, I mean, if I saw him on the left and they panned it right, I would notice that. I'd kind of get a bit confused. So it gives you a bit of that live feel when you're standing at a concert and you hear some of the audio from the actual cabs on stage if you're close enough versus just the PA system. Very smart. It's got a capo on.
We met where the cliff greets the sea. Shared a story, took the lead. A rose uprooted, hidden out. You know where you've been there. Now there's one who came from me. A child of light, another tale. Dear one, night will come, but not to stay. Oh, why? The answer's in the heart.
Before they go into that, his vocal is awesome. Her vocal is awesome. The sound is awesome. I'm loving this. I'm just enjoying it at the moment. Even when you go on set, sometimes you warm up and then you'll sit down and have to do a bit of makeup to make sure you're not shiny. You do your sound check, but there's a moment of cool off where your vocals have to kind of have a cool off period, and that's difficult. You want to go straight in and sing, but she's so controlled and so professional that you're not noticing any of that. This is awesome. He's changed up his approach there. He's still playing the same verse piece, but he's adding little bits here and there to keep it fresh, make the song move along. It's all good. They're all good.
The tale, dear one, night will come, but not to stay. Oh, why? The answer's in the house, the heart underneath the silence. How's the one drowning in the mire?
She's not human. Nope.
How is the heart underneath the silence? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let us sound a human pain. Come on in, the fire's warm.
Okay, so there he's doing that piece we were talking about earlier where you heard the guitar play a more dominant role as that heartbeat, and I love that they're doing that. I was wondering if they were going to strip that out or not, because it isn't something that I couldn't picture it in my mind as an acoustic piece. Well, now I can, because of course they found a way.
How is the heart underneath the silence? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let us sound a human pain. Come on in, the fire's warm. How's the heart underneath the silence? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let us sound human pain. Come on in.
I could hear the vibrato in his voice there. Finally, it was awesome. I want to hear it again. It was beautiful. You know, he was very reserved and calm. The song was building. Now he's building. He's getting, you know, I say more confidence in his voice. He's always confident, but the song builds confidence, and it keeps moving into a place where it feels like there's new elements being added. And even that slight variation there where his voice went a little bit higher instead of that slow, more simple piece, and he added a bit of vibrato on the end there, was really nice. It's subtleties. When you keep a song simple, it's the subtleties that make all the difference, and that is so cool. I like how he just went into the chord strum as well. That's that reserved pullback that we heard in the lyric video. They are finding smart ways to convert a lot of those pieces that ordinarily would be very difficult to do.
Let us sound human pain. Come on in. How's the heart underneath the silence? How's the one drowning in the mire? Let us sound human pain. Come in, the fire's warm by the rope and ransom. How's the
Wow. Okay. That was special to say the least. I love how they found ways to take pieces I didn't think they were going to be able to change into something more melodic and not more melodic, but simplistic with one instrument essentially. I love how in that end piece where she kind of elevated her vocals, his harmony went up to go where hers was almost, so that you didn't lose that essence of kind of that strong vocal layer. He kind of elevated so she could go somewhere else, and it's like kind of, you know, it's like I got you kind of thing. And she just killed it there. She killed it. I mean, no doubt that she was going to, but to know it's going to happen and to hear it happen, she is going to kill everything on this album. We're in for a massive treat the minute they can go touring again. This was fantastic. I don't have to choose between whether I like the original or the acoustic, because I'm never going to have to. I want both. I'm going to have both, and I'm going to listen to them back to back again because that was awesome. I'm actually going to go and listen to this again right now because it's very, very, very special. It's beautiful, extremely beautiful, very well thought out, very thoughtful. And, you know, I know there's a deeper meaning to it. I'm going to go through the lyrics, and I always do after the songs. I go through and I find out what were they thinking, how were they going about it, and definitely make sure that I give it the respect it does in terms of the thought process behind it. But that was awesome, and I can't wait till next week to do another one. Until then, please be safe, be nice to each other, and have a damn good day.